Hi, my name is Seth Beverly, and I'd like to just start this video with a quote. If you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always got. Remember that quote because I'm going to be coming back to it later. But let's get back to the subject at hand. North Carolina just released a new bill that got signed into law recently called HB 2. And what that law does is it requires that bathrooms in the public facilities to be used by people based on the gender listed on its birth certificate, and it also prohibits local governments from enacting non-discrimination laws. Now, to me, not only is that the equivalent of basically beating the crap out of somebody with a bat, it's taking away both their arms and their legs, so they have absolutely no way to defend themselves. The law literally stops you from enacting a non-discrimination law. What the hell were they thinking? Well, I know what they're thinking, and I'm about to tell you what it was. On June 26, 2015, the Supreme Court legalized gay marriage nationwide. And that's what's got a lot of these people who made this HB 2 bill so pissed off. In retaliation, what they've done is released a lot of religious freedom bills. And what these bills do is they use religion as a shield in order to make it so that if you're a part of the LGBT community, you will have the hardest time possible, more so than you've already have. Of course, HB 2 is a part of these laws, and it is disgusting that someone would use a religion in order to support discrimination and bigotry as they have. But moving back to that quote I gave you at the beginning of the video, this isn't the first time that they've used religion in order to stop civil rights. They did it the same time. They did it the same way, and almost with the exact same wording as during Jim Crow era for segregation. They used religion as a means for segregation and as a means of discrimination. And honestly, Jesus didn't die for this shit. He really didn't. I don't understand why it's so hard to see that these aren't monsters. They're people. They have feelings. They have joys, doubts, everything that you do too. They just happen to be different from you. And that doesn't mean that you can victimize them. That doesn't mean that just because they want to use a different restroom that you should all of a sudden put up wires and fences in order to make it as hard as possible for them to just live their lives. All they want to do is take a poo in peace. In all these different forms of law, the HB 2 and all of those like it are at fault somehow. In natural law, you are literally sending people to the slaughter. You are literally making it hard for them just to get basic necessities. You can deny them food, clothing, all of that because of sexual orientation, which is bullshit. There's no reason you should be able to say, hey, you're gay. I don't like that. You can go starve for all I care. That just does not make any sense. For Old Testament, it's been stated many times in lines such as Deuteronomy 10:17, "For the Lord your God is God of gods and Lord of lords, the great, the almighty, and the awesome God, who is not partial and takes no bribes." That God looks at us all as equals, and therefore, why shouldn't we? In Romans 2:11, it said, "For God shows no partiality." He literally said that we are all equal in his eyes. If he's able to look at us as equals, why shouldn't we be able to look at each other as equals? In the New Testament, Jesus literally said, he without sin throw the first stone. And I'm pretty sure that he was talking to, well, none of us, because we all sin. And in civil law, the government sued North Carolina. You're at fault in every definition of the word. I just don't understand. All in all, I just don't understand where this law is coming from. It says it wants to protect children and women, but many of the people who they're targeting are women by this law. I just don't see, and if that's the case, if the definition of a woman is genetically born a woman, then I've got a couple pictures to show you that beg to differ. This is a transgender model. She used to be a he, and based under this law, she would have to use the bathroom with males. And not only in that bathroom could she be subject to physical abuse of anything ranged from, hey, she's a faggot, let's get her, to even what you're trying to prevent, rape. Because she does have a vagina now. And he used to be a she. So based on the law, he would have to go in the women's bathroom. So honestly, ask yourselves, what is more disturbing? Having just someone go into the bathroom they want to go into, that they are willing to go into, and just use it and just leave. Basically a 2-minute process at the most. Or making a huge deal about it and having entire hate speeches about how it's un-American and how it's going to endanger children. Why can't these people just use their bathrooms? In conclusion, sexuality and gender are very complicated, and a bill like this just simply can't work, and it won't work until we look at each other as equals, and until we're able to sit down and have an actual discussion about the potential dangers or risk of this, which there aren't many. We can actually have a productive discussion. But if we continue to attack each other as if the other isn't human, all we're going to get is more hate and more bigotry. Again, if you do what you've always done, you're just going to get what you've always got. So please, next time you see someone spewing some hateful shit because they feel uncomfortable that the guy next to them may potentially at one point have been a she, please just tell them to shut up and stare at the wall like everyone else.